College dorms are supposed to be places of freedom, laughter, and late night studying. But behind those locked doors and long hallways, some students have experienced things so terrifying, they still refuse to talk about them. Here are 4 real scary college dorm horror stories told by students. It was my first semester living in the dorms. My room was on the 5th floor at the very end of the long hallway. At night, the floor was unusually quiet, since most students either went out late or stayed in their rooms. One night around 2 a.m., I got up to use the bathroom. The hallway was dim, only lit by the faint orange glow of an emergency exit sign. As I walked, I heard footsteps behind me. I turned around, nothing. But the footsteps continued. They matched my pace exactly, slow and heavy. My heart started pounding. I hurried to the bathroom and shut the door. Inside, I waited in silence, trying to calm myself. After a minute, I opened the door. The hallway was empty. But halfway down, near my room, I saw it. A tall, dark shadow figure standing completely still, facing my door. I froze. My throat went dry. I thought maybe it was another student, but this figure didn't move, didn't breathe, didn't make a sound. I whispered, "Hello?" But it didn't answer. Instead, it turned its head, slowly, towards me. I bolted back into the bathroom and locked myself in until morning. When I finally walked back to my room at sunrise, there was nothing there. But my roommate swore he woke up at 3 a.m. to someone trying to open our door, twisting the knob over and over again. This happened to my friend Emily, who lived in one of the older dorm buildings. She had a single room, but it used to be a double years ago. That night, she stayed up late writing a paper. Around midnight, she got ready for bed and turned off the lights. As soon as she lay down, she heard the sound of breathing. Slow, steady, coming from the other side of the room. Emily sat up, convinced someone had broken in. She turned on her desk lamp and froze. On the other bed, the one that had been removed years before, she saw the outline of someone lying down. Their chest rose and fell, matching the breathing she heard. Emily's entire body went cold. She whispered, "Who's there?" But the figure didn't move. She sat frozen for almost an hour, too scared to do anything. Eventually, she pulled her blanket over her head and somehow fell asleep. The next morning, the bed was gone again, just the empty wall and her desk. Later, she asked her Ira if anyone else had ever complained about weird things in that room. That Ray looked uncomfortable and said, "You mean no one told you? That room used to be a double. A student died in here about 15 years ago. His body was found right where you saw him." This was my second year in college. My roommate had gone home for the weekend, so I was alone at around 1 a.m. I was lying in bed scrolling on my phone when I heard knocking. It wasn't on my door, it was coming from the inside of my closet. 3 slow knocks. I froze. My closet door was just a few feet away. I tried to tell myself maybe it was the pipes or the building settling. But then 3 more knocks, this time louder. I sat up and whispered, "Who's in there?" My voice shook silence. Then from inside the closet, I heard a faint whisper, "Let me out." I jumped out of bed and ran down the hall to a friend's room. I begged to stay the night, and I didn't go back until the morning. When I opened the closet the next day, it was completely empty. No sign anyone had ever been in there. But what chilled me to my core was what my roommate told me when he returned. He said sometimes when he was alone, he heard scratching inside that same closet like fingernails dragging against wood. My dorm was on the 8th floor. My bed was pushed right up against the window, and at night I usually left the blinds half open. One night, I woke up at 3 a.m. to a sound tapping on the glass. Tap, tap, tap. When I opened my eyes, I saw a face pressed against the window. Its skin was pale, stretched too tight, and its mouth was twisted into a wide smile. The eyes were completely black. I screamed, and in that instant, the face vanished. I ran down the hall to the Raj room, begging him to check. When we both looked, the window was locked from the inside, and we were on the 8th floor. There was no ledge, no balcony, nothing anyone could have stood on. The ray told me I was dreaming. But I know what I saw. For weeks afterward, I couldn't sleep facing the window. And one morning, when I finally opened the blinds again, there was a handprint on the outside of the glass. 8 floors up. Dorm life may feel exciting at first, but when the sun goes down and the hallways turn quiet, some students discover they're not as alone as they thought. Those were 4 real scary college dorm horror stories told by students. Which story scared you the most? Comment below and subscribe for more true horror stories.